We live, baby.
What's going on?
Oof, man. Seems like a lot is going on. It's crazy right now. So many things are changing, and you just see like people just acting like complete idiots. I mean, for lack of a better term. You know, we got this whole COVID rebound bullshit going on, and the war between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. You know, is I don't know, man. It's about to get real funny out here, and I think people, as I've said many a times before, need to start paying more attention.
Well, there's just no answers. You know, there's destruction without a
Consequences.
end game. Like, what's
Oh
the end
yeah.
game?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's
man.
people, take the mask, take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine, wear the mask, don't wear the mask. This has been going on for a year and change. Now it's like take the vaccine, but you're might be able to pass it on to people, but you won't die. So it's just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, it's just people are the thing is gonna get to like a civil war or something soon. Like
it's gonna boil over.
Yeah, it's gonna boil over.
Yeah, I think
People
that,
can't survive another shutdown. Businesses and things.
They definitely can't. And the thing about it is if you watched everything as it's gone on, if you paid attention, you've seen businesses crumble. You've seen small businesses specifically just go under, close down altogether, right? Then you have this reopen under all these restrictions and all these sort of stipulations that you have to follow. And then they say, you can you can get a vaccine. You don't have to wear a mask no more. Then they change gears. Nah, if you get the vaccine, you still got to kind of wear a mask because you could still infect other people.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, from the beginning, they never had it under control. Never had clear story. There was never no clear message about what it was. So for me, it's coordinated chaos. And people are never going to get an understanding of what they need to do.
What was said the other day of they're gonna city workers, hospital workers, whatever. If you don't take the vaccine, you're gonna get tested weekly. All right. I mean, who wants to go through that? But that's an option. Fine. Now, you don't take the vaccine, you can't work, or you can't go to the gym, or you can't. Now you force it people's hand. That's where I have, people got to draw the line somewhere. So, and whether you're pro-vax or anti-vax, you have to see that, your rights are getting taken somewhere. So you gotta,
the shit is going over everybody's head because the same people that'll tell you that feel that way are the same people that were telling you the government should have control over your body, like with abortion rights. All these people want to tell you what to do with your body. Now you all telling us what to do with our body.
Mm-hmm.
And again, let's all stop saying vaccine. Let's stop playing the word games. It's an experimental drug. It's not a vaccine. You people could get mad and be like, you ain't a scientist. Well, the fuck you ain't a scientist either. So it is what it is.
I mean, that could go either way because, again,
yeah.
There's some vaccines that have, adverse reaction, effects and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but, we won't know, these consequences till down the line. If any. Not to say it's guaranteed either. So,
yeah. Yes, sir. Good evening to the regular schmegula, Miss Angelica Reyes, the big sis, Millie Mill, and to my son foos, Josiah and Asa, Michael Mai, Zenobia. Good evening to everybody. Welcome to the show. Tonight, super special guest as always, Brooklyn's own. And I say that with a lot of emphasis, with a lot of love, because on this show, we love to have hometown people on the set. Tonight, Brooklyn's own, Miss Shawana King. Miss Shawana King was just featured on VH1's My True Crime Story, and she's here tonight. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have a good old time, get to know her, and share her story with everybody in the audience.
Yeah, I watched it the other night. It was good.
Crazy, right?
So, yeah. I just got to ask her something because I looked on my on the feed thing, and it said like episode 2, and her name was still on it. So was it just they didn't put the other name, or is it there's 2 parts? Which I don't think there was 2 parts to her story, because I believe at the end of the show it was pretty much done.
It was like an hour and change.
Mm-hmm.
The show.
So
it's crazy. We're gonna get into a few topics before we start the show. So Sel, I wanna first share this with everybody, because we've been talking about financial literacy, so on and so forth. And a gentleman that we grew up with, our brother, Mr. Robert Lopez, does insurance amongst other things. And I want to focus on the insurance part of it right now because it's so important.
Life insurance.
People, our brother, Mr. Robert Lopez, has a business. You can check him out on IG, Robert_Lopez52. This gentleman has been in the insurance game, I don't know, almost 20 years, knows his stuff. Right now, he's working on a policy for me. God forbid something happens to me, my family's going to be all right. I would implore everybody to start exploring these options. And life insurance has a lot of different other financial benefits to it. And Mr. Lopez is fluent in that language. So if you're looking for somebody to really help you and protect your family and protect what you've built, give my man a shout, man. Robert_Lopez52 on IG and on Instagram. All right.
Health is wealth, man. We all know, but one thing we all know is we're gonna pass away, right? So
sure,
let's leave the kids right. Let's not go through what we all went through.
Yeah, man. And there's so much more to that sort of segment. But who knows? Maybe we might have a conversation with Mr. Lopez, bring him on the show, bring the information to the audience. So everybody just check that out. Start looking into it, man, because you got to take care of yours after you're gone. Also, before we run this track, I have to share this. And I want to get through this quick because I want to get
run 2 tracks.
So, ladies and gentlemen, very proud moment for Puerto Rico. Miss Jasmine Camacho Quinn ran and won the gold. But not only did she win the gold, she won it for Puerto Rico. And the best part of her story is that she's not born on the island. She has a Black father and a Puerto Rican mother. She's a true representation of what it means to be Afro-Latino. She's from the Carolinas. What did she do? She went in honor of her mother, who was also a track star, and went and qualified to be on Team Puerto Rico. Did her thing, and she won the gold. And I don't know about everybody else, but I feel very, very proud when I see the island making moves, being on the world stage. But more importantly, I'm glad to see that somebody like herself, who's she's a citizen born here and being Afro-Latino, and made the choice, you know what, I'm not going to run for the U.S. I'm going to go run for Puerto Rico in honor of my mom. Super, like, you got to give it up. You got to give it up. So.
No, definitely, brother.
That's heavy. So, as I said, tonight we're gonna be welcoming Miss Shawana King. We don't want to hold her up. So, what we're gonna do now?
Before you run the track, I just want to let everybody know that Jadakiss was arrested for murder today.
We're gonna touch that. Let's run this track. We're gonna touch that,
bro.
Let's go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Mr. A.
I'm the co-host, Sally Sassong, in the building.
And this is the set 6145. Tonight, as I said earlier, Brooklyn's own Miss Shawana King. Miss King was featured last night on VH1's My True Crime Story. And tonight we have her here. We're going to chop it up and have a good time. I hope everybody's ready for the conversation. So,
yeah, man. Jadakiss is on the next My True Crime Story after last night.
Oh, man. Listen, I got to share this, man. I just want to say salute to Harlem. Anybody from New York City who knows Harlem people and Harlem young folk, one thing that's always certain about Harlem, and I think this is it in a nutshell to help you understand what Harlem people are like. Harlem dudes are like a 5-foot dude who walks around all day trying to convince everybody he's 6'4", and no matter what you tell him, He's like, nope, I'm 6'4". That's Harlem. So
Harlem is the swag. They with that swag.
Everything. So salute to Harlem for repping yesterday. Dipset did their thing, but they got handled. They definitely got handled, and I'm glad to see that it didn't get out of hand because dudes was doing a little too much yesterday, but they kept it hip hop. And I just want to play this clip real quick because right here, this just solidified it for me. I was like, it's a dub. It's a dub.
New York, what's up, New York?
You hearing this?
I hear it.
All right.
Listen, we in New York, right? Why these niggas keep rhyming over the words? Y'all could have stayed in the car and listened to Apple Music.
Yo, we know that SOPs,
these niggas is cheating.
Yo, you
Y'all test me hard on your part.
Show the nigga talk, nigga.
Let the music violate you.
No.
You hip hop. We in the Mecca of New York. New York.
When
it drops, you got goosebumps.
I'm getting them now.
These niggas
Just
don't rhyme like us.
this right here,
It's all burners, all raisins. Hand down, nigga, the game is all jaders. Anything drop, I cop in all flavors. He's a dick, you pussy, y'all neighbors.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was. I was watching it live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jadakiss. I know he was on that Adderall. I called it last night. I was like, he's on that Addy. He's on point. But their chemistry, it looked like the Dipset didn't even rehearse. It was sloppy on their end. You know what I mean? I give them that they have all their hits. They're not like collabos. And the Locks have a lot of collabos. But regardless, the Locks put a show on. And that's what we wanted to see. We wanted that energy from Dipset. And we didn't get that.
I think that they definitely had no show. Their presence wasn't felt. The song selection was terrible. Santana coming out there looking like Ezel from Friday, laying on the ground. I added Jim Jones mad times. Dude, stop working out and stop cracking jokes because it does nothing for lyrical content. Yeah. And the
DJ Technician was a difference too for the Locks. He's just a monster.
Just on it.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Wow.
Next VH1 True Crime Stories will be
Locks Jada's the rest. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
let's start this.
We're gonna share this real quick just to give you a little introduction if y'all missed it.
It ends Monday, Mr. A. Airs Monday, not on Tuesday. It airs on Monday.
It aired on Monday. Yo, forgive me, senior.
I know you working overnights and all that, so your days is
everything
lost.
is colliding. I'm gonna play this little clip for y'all, okay?
This is a cautionary tale about how a young girl from Brooklyn, New York, who started out just trying to take care of her parents.
Like, my mom is the best person in the world to me,
But became the swipe queen of New York.
She's like the credit card fraud queen, Shawana King. I had no idea.
Listen, man, we all have different beginnings, and it doesn't matter where you start. It definitely doesn't. You get it up from the mud, and that's what counts. So, ladies and gentlemen, the set wants to welcome from Brooklyn, Miss Shawana King.
Hello.
What's going on?
How you doing?
How are you? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Love that energy.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for sharing
I'm
your time,
so
man.
excited.
I'm sure you're a very busy woman. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything or haven't researched Miss Shawana King, Miss Shawana King is definitely moving and shaking out here. She's written a book called Swiped. She has her hair business naturally. When you're a customer and you want to make shit happen, you turn it into a business. And she's definitely doing things. And we just want to salute and give her flowers, most of all for coming on the show, but even more so for continuing to be an example. She also speaks to youth and the incarcerated. So we want to say salute to you on all your endeavors and everything that you're doing, Miss King.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, speaking of track stars, you look like you getting ready to run right now. You got the hair pulled back, getting ready to go.
Listen, I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's what we want.
Don't take a nap in that bed over there.
Yeah, for real. So, Shawana, let's try to start it from the beginning, because with the premiere of the show, there's certain things that people probably miss or probably have questions about. But here at the show, we like to start from the beginning. Why don't you tell everybody where you're from, born and raised?
So I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Um, I'm from Crown Heights, East New York. So I don't know if y'all watched the show, but if you didn't, my dad lived in Crown Heights and my mom lived in East New York. So I was able to chill on both sides.
Mm, mm. Now, growing up, I understand that you come from sort of an era where you were witness to what hustling was about and what getting it was about.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who were the examples for you growing up?
So, honestly, like walking outside of my dad's house on the corner, it's like it's blatant. It's just there. You just see hustlers on the block, and they're doing it like in front of everyone, in front of the children. So me, I was just always very observant, and I just wanted to like know what was going on. So I would just watch everybody, watch my dad, and then I started to realize, like, they selling drugs,
Mm,
like, because you see someone at that age, I didn't really know like the term crackhead, or the term that they use, but
mhm,
you see someone who looks a little ill, and they're going up to a person and they're taking something from them. So now when I'm constantly seeing that over and over, I'm like, okay, so this person, they're selling something. He's giving him something, and he's giving him, and they're exchanging it for money.
mm.
Right.
Now, around the time that this is going on, you're becoming aware, as they
Yes.
say.
Yes.
How old are you at that time?
I was about maybe 7, 8.
Mm, wow,
Yeah,
that
I was
sounds
very,
right.
I was very young. And even like on the show, if you've seen, like, I took the drugs out of my father's pocket, because I seen the cops. They didn't say all of this on the show, but I seen the cops on the corner, and they were like lurking, looking. So I'm like, I feel like those cops are about to come and say something to my dad or
You
lock
have
him
like an
up or something.
intuition.
Yes, my intuition was, it kicked in, and I knew, for like, my dad always had that brown coat because he had like some pockets, like deep pockets,
Stash.
and that was like his stash, I guess. So I knew when he had that brown coat, he had something in there. And then I seen the ill person. I hate to use the term crackhead, like, it
Right.
just bothers me.
Mm,
I seen the ill person, walk up to him, and I was like, oh, my dad is about to sell him something. So I ran up to my dad, and I was like, Daddy, give me some candy. I want some candy. And I went into his pocket. I was like, I know you got candy in your pocket. So I went into his pocket, and I took the drugs out, and I put the drugs in my pocket, and I just ran upstairs. When I ran
mm,
upstairs, I looked out the window with my grandmother. This is all in my book as well. I
Mm.
looked out the window, and the cops had my father. His hands was up on the brick wall. They were searching him, and they was mad as hell because they did not find it. And my father was so confused. He came, he walked upstairs, and he's like, I see him like looking in his pocket, like, what the hell? So I'm like, Daddy, I took the drugs out of your pocket because I didn't want the police to take you from me.
Wow.
mm. Wow. So, needless
So
to say,
from
growing up,
that moment, he was like, wow, he never thought I was like ever watching him, or even if I was watching him, that I understood so much that I did. So from
mm,
that moment, he kind of like, he was trying to do everything like on the low, but
yeah,
I already knew. I already knew
Right.
what was going on, you
Yeah, I
know?
was gonna ask you, did you have like an intervention, like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna fall back, my little
Yes,
girl.
he started doing everything on the low. Cause
Right,
normally, like, he's in the kitchen and he's doing, like, he's cooking, like, or whatever he's doing to
right,
it. I'm sitting there acting like I'm playing with my dolls, and I'm actually looking at him, watching everything.
right.
So after that happened, he used to be like, "Baby, go in the room."
Mm.
I'll call you when I'm finished. Go in the room. I have to do something. I have to talk to uncle. Go in the room.
Mm.
So I already knew what he was doing. So
Run
now
the store.
I'm
Give
really
me some
watching
baking
him.
soda, baby.
Now I'm really watching him, you know?
Oh, wow. So it seems like, you know, as a dad myself, I'm listening to you talk about this moment, and you know, I get two things. One is that, you know, you're very aware at a young age as to what's going on around you. But when I'm watching you talk about your father, even in a moment of what some people would consider wrongdoing or whatever, Sally, I don't know, you could tell me if I'm wrong, but do you see the look in her eye, the admiration, the love that she has for her dad?
The glow. Yeah, the glow's there.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, Shawana, I want you to sort of, if you could, elaborate on that. Like, what is your relationship like with your dad now?
We have an amazing relationship. We always been super, super close. My mom used to be a little jealous because she thought like, you love him more than me, but that was not the case. We just had a special bond. I don't know what it was. It's just like my dad, he spoiled me, but not only spoiled me, I felt like he was also my friend. Like I felt like it was certain things I could tell him that I probably wouldn't tell my mom, but it was also certain things I could tell my mom that I couldn't tell him. You know, so and then I feel like with my father, he let me get away with murder. So like when I was out, I know we're gonna get to that part, but when I was like out in the streets doing my thing, my mother didn't know nothing. My father knew everything I was doing. You know, he would give me advice and tell me like, listen, you should not do that. Or like when I got in trouble, he's like, you need to stop. You need to cut it. Don't do it no more. Because if you get in trouble again, they're gonna slay you. You know, so I would get advice like that from my father, and my mother pretty much didn't know anything. But that bond that I have with my father is just, it's a special, special bond. Like I'm like obsessed with my dad. I love him.
So I watched the episode. So he spoiled you, giving you $500 a week allowance. So
But that also created a damn monster.
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna ask you. So when it was taken away, did you feel like I'm entitled to this, or like what was your feeling about that?
So, you know, I go from getting every pair of Jordans, getting all of the expensive clothes. I'm always fresh. I'm going to school. I'm like, you know, the freshest in the class. I'm popular because of that. I'm buying the kids lunch. Everybody is like, I'm walking in the front. Everybody walking behind me. I'm like that the bitch in school. You know, I'm the bomb. Like everybody is like looking up to me because of my appearance. You know, because of the material that I have. So with that happening, it's like, I guess it started to create that person that, you know, put me in prison, basically, because when he wasn't able to give me those things anymore, it's like, I don't want to not be popular in school no more. I don't want to walk around with old sneakers.
Right.
So it's like, you're like giving someone food and then you're taking the food away. You know what I mean? So things just started to slow up. So instead of me getting every Jordans every Saturday, because they were coming out on Saturdays at that time, I probably was getting it every 3 Saturdays. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that feeling at all.
At that point, were you still in elementary? Were you in junior high? Like, where were you in school at
So
that time?
at that point, I was in junior high school. I was probably in 8th going in 9th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a tough time because that's when young ladies start to change and young men start to change and things get crazy and, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend situations and
Hormones all over the place.
oh my God. Can you think about being in junior high school right now? It's a madhouse,
I
right?
live with it.
Crazy.
So I'm assuming that your dad at some point gets knocked. Now, does he do a heavy bid or is he like, yo, he does 3 months and comes home?
No, he does about maybe 10 months.
10 months? Okay.
Shock. Doing shock.
Yeah, he did basically.
I'm gonna do the program.
Came home.
Yeah.
It was something real light, you know. He did his time, he came home. But while he, like, right before he got released, his friends went to prison. Or I think like during the same time frame, they were in a different state and they all went to prison for like 20 years. My father was like, oh, this is a wrap. I can't do this. You know, he started a trucking company, and he started like really working. And he said, "Fuck this! I'm not leaving my family. I can't leave my daughters out here. My daughter's of age now. I don't want her to get caught up with the wrong boy." And he's like, "Listen, I can't leave my kids."
Mm,
So he
man.
completely stopped. When he stopped, it dried up for me, and I had to do my own thing.
But Shawana, speaking of that moment, at what point did you start to understand, like, you know what? I'm a child and my dad is spoiling me beyond measure. But I now realize that the value, does that come immediate or is that way down the line? Because I
So
know
it
being a
comes.
young lady, being
I
a daddy's little girl is kind of tough.
right.
Right. So,
So my dad set me down. He was real open with me. You know, we always had like conversations and stuff. So he told me like, "Baby, listen, do you want to have these material stuff and I'm here, or do you want to have it and I'm gone?" You know what I mean? Like basically saying like, if I'm in prison, you can't have it.
Right.
You know, if I'm here, I can give it to you. I may not be able to give you exactly what I was giving you before, but you know, you getting older now, you could get a job and do things the right way, because I don't want you to see me in prison. You know, I understood that.
mm,
But that was for him. I said, "Daddy, that's cool. I'm good." Because in my mind, I knew I had to go out there and do what I had to
I'm
do
gonna
for
get my
myself.
grind on.
Yeah. So I said, "It's fine, Daddy. I'm good. Like, I don't want you to leave me. I want you to stay right here, work your job." But in the back of my mind, I said, "I'm gonna go and get my own money."
mm,
Mm.
wow. So little Shawana's leaving junior high school, going to high school, and I'm sure there's even more of a change, because when you get into high school, it's a whole different ball game, because now you've gone through your little growth, you've gone through your little changes, and now the world's a different place, right?
Boys started coming.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now I'm curious to know, when you start looking at boys, are you of the mindset that I'm looking for somebody like my dad? Or are you of the mindset of I'm going to who has the freshest Clarks and got the Dookie, chain or whatever? Like, how are you selective with your
So
male friends, if you would?
I was I was looking for someone who was like my dad, loving, caring, and but I also was looking for someone who looked like they had some money and some things, that can help me. Um, Whatever it is that I was doing, help me and we help each other. You know what I mean? So I definitely was looking for someone who had the jewelry. And I just remember when I was in high school, this one guy caught my attention. He had a big chain on. He had 4 phones. He had a bunch of name brand clothes. I think at that time it was like Evisu jeans.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. He reminded me of my dad a little bit.
Right.
So
Hmm.
that I guess I was kind of looking for someone that was like my dad.
Hmm.
And that was Dennis that we see in the show, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
So you've been with Dennis since high school?
yes. We've
At
been.
that, no, that's
Yeah.
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 You'll tell that part, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so you're in high school, right? Things is doing what they do. Are you a good student in school? Are you
Yes.
like you with the books?
I'm with the books. Listen, let me tell you something. I've always been with the books because my dad wasn't only just giving me money. I had to make sure my grades, I had to show report cards. I had to make sure my grades was A1. I had to make sure I could not miss no school, no days of school. Like I wasn't the girl that go and cut school and want to go with boys, and I wasn't that girl. I was the
Mm,
girl that go to school, do my homework, get my good grades, because I knew that if I showed that to my parents, I had a award at the end. You
mm,
know what I
were
mean?
you
So
were you?
I'm
God,
sorry, that
sorry.
$500 a week, my father made me feel like I earned it.
mm.
You
Okay.
know?
Were you were you board of school or were you like a
No,
sponge of it? Because you seem like you're quick on your feet. Like, all right, you're a problem solver. Like from what I get from the show. Like,
Yeah.
this happens. All right, let's do this now. You know what I mean? Like, you're ready to. So, were you bored in school? Like, oh, this is tough, but just doing it kind of like, I know the incentive of I'm gonna get paid right now.
So in the beginning, I went through different emotions with school. Like sometimes I was bored, and sometimes I liked the school.
Right.
And it was just like I think it depended on the age. So
Right.
when I was in growing up in like elementary school, I loved school. Then when I got to junior high school, it was like it had its moments, you know. But I always got my work done. I made sure I did that first, and everything else was after. I've always been like that.
Nice.
It's
crazy because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like young ladies who have a strong relationship with their dad, it's an additive. When you have a young woman whose father or the man who raises her is giving her the things that she needs, they do great things.
Yeah, and when you look for a man to like, you have to fulfill what my father,
that was my next point.
Yeah.
That is your example and understanding of what a man should be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if your dad is a dude that's a womanizer, you're kind of going to understand that this is in your mentality. This is what men are like. If you have a father who stand up and he's there holding it down, making sure you're good, always present, always feeding you the right things and making sure that you have that discipline, you're going to have that understanding. And I think that a lot of people miss that. They don't understand that representation and connection of the man that you see as the example in some way, shape, or form is going to affect the partner that you choose in your life.
Right. No, that's so true.
So, speaking of partners, Miss King, are we partnerless right now, or where are we?
I am waiting to get engaged. He needs to hurry up.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully he see this show and be like,
there you go.
Time is
Surprise,
clicking.
motherfucker.
Yeah. Time is clicking, okay? Time don't wait for nobody.
Yeah.
Does not.
But yeah,
That's for sure.
I have a man in my life, and he's actually my daughter's father. He held me down throughout my whole entire bid. Never missed a visit. It was crazy because when I met him, I literally met him a couple of months before I went to prison, maybe 3 months, and we were just dating. It wasn't even that serious, we were dating. And I just basically I didn't tell him I was going to prison. I didn't even know I was going to prison, actually. I just went to probation and they just kept me. So I just basically just left off the face of earth. Like, he didn't speak to me. He's like, the hell happened to this girl? She's just not answering her phone. What happened?
She ghosted me. There was no ghosting back then.
So he eventually found out I was in prison. I looked at my account and he sent me $1,000. So I was like kind of shocked because I felt like we weren't at that. We were just dating. Right. It wasn't nothing serious. Like, so I didn't think he was actually.
We just made out.
Yeah, like, no, literally. No, literally.
Yo.
So it's like, he stepped up because, he went through a similar situation like myself. He was incarcerated, and I guess certain people, some of his friends and family, they weren't there. So he's like, listen, I want to see what it's like to hold somebody down. What excuses did these people have for me? Like, I want to see if there's any excuses that I would have to hold this person down. So, he did it. He held me down. He didn't miss a visit and came home. He got me pregnant the same day.
Oh, you're going to pay for that $1,000.
Right.
Yo, that is crazy. And I give it to him. He a smart dude. He was like, yeah, come home. Now you stuck with me.
I came home. I was pregnant the next week.
What? Like that?
Wow.
Well, like okay. You was Remy. He was Pap. He held you down. and how long were you in that bid? How long were you up for?
2 years.
So
we were talking for about 3 months, and then I left for 2 years, and then
Wait,
We've been together since 2016. We're still
listen.
together.
So I'm gonna get a little personal.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an understanding between you two? Like, all right, you here, you giving me visits, putting money in my books, or go live your life, and when I come home, we see what it is. Or he's like, yo, listen, it's me and you.
So listen, there was definitely not an understanding.
Okay.
A woman is never gonna tell her man that.
Right.
But I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? It's
Okay.
like I feel like I feel like when you're in prison,
mm-hmm.
like you don't want your man to cheat. You don't want him to be out there. But I'm a woman and I know like I'm not naive to a man pleasing himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not naive to that. Like in my head, I'm like, as long as he hold me down, he don't disrespect me. Nobody ain't fucking sending me no letters or somebody threatening what, like, you know what I mean? As long as he got all of that under control,
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm saying that in my head, but to him, nigga, don't play with me because if you got one fuck up, listen, I don't give a fuck if I'm in jail.
I'll be back in this motherfucker real quick.
I'll be right back.
Surprise,
here. Like,
motherfucker.
I'm gonna
Surprise,
leave, beat
motherfucker.
your ass, and come back. Okay.
Did you meet Rani at all doing this, or is it all video? Like it's just added in?
All video.
Okay.
All video, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining the show, I'm your host, Mr. A.
Sally Sassong in the building.
And this is the set 6145. Tonight, we're talking to Brooklyn's own Miss Shawana King. And Miss
Queen
King,
of swipes.
the queen of that Brooklyn maneuver. Miss King is sharing a lot and really giving it up. And I can't say how much I appreciate this.
For sure.
So, do you feel the honesty? Do you feel the genuineness? Yeah. It's very rare that you hear it from the other side. And this is the reason even more so why I really like this story. You never hear about men holding women down who are getting locked up, right?
Right.
And for me, I think this put Remy in the perfect light because she did something like, 4-6 years she did?
I think she did like 6, 7, 8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta love somebody for
real. My man was really packed. Like, it was, he held me down. Let me tell y'all a quick story, right? So I was in prison, and mind you, he come to see me every week. I forget the day. I think it was on Saturdays, right? So he'll come see me every Saturday. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to overstep. I want him to chill, have fun. He don't have to take that 2-hour drive. Like, you don't have to come this week. I would tell him that randomly, So it was this one week I called him. Oh, this was on a Friday. I said, babe, you don't have to come tomorrow. I don't want you to come visit me. Do your thing, like have fun. And they also having this family event. So there's no visits anyway for me. So he was like, okay. So mind you, my ex, Dennis, literally just came home probably 3-4 days before that. Right? So in his mind, he was like, is this bitch trying to play me? Trying to have come see her something? Like, what's really going on? But they were really having like some family event. It was like a mother. If you didn't have a kid, you couldn't go to the event. It was like mother-daughter event, mother-kid event type of thing.
Right.
So I'm down there, and I think I volunteered to work that day. So I'm down there. All the girls is running to me. They like, Shawana, your man is walking down the hill. He's here. He's walking down the hill. So I'm like, I told him not to come. Like, why is he here?
Surprise.
So I called him. I'm like, you just try to come down the hill? He was like, yeah. I was like, but I told you I have no visits. He was like, I mean, I thought you was trying to play me. I was trying to see if I see niggas there. Like you trying to play me and get a visit from somebody else.
Yo, so he showed up in the hoodie footy pajamas. What? No, I'm gonna see for sure.
I'm like, listen, babe, no. Wow.
But you know what? That's a real. A lot of people will deny acting out of character, right? It's a whole different ball game when you're an adult and you're actually invested in somebody, right?
Yeah. He was really invested in me.
Oh, but with that move alone, I'm surprised they didn't tell him, yo, your man's on top of the hill, just standing up there waiting to see who come through the gate. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yo, he actually was walking down. There was no officers to like let him in. So he just took it upon himself to just walk down the hill.
Wow.
Shawana, can I ask you a question? Dennis, is there any contact? Like, do you know of him? Like, did he do better in his life when he came home? Like, did he straighten himself out?
Yeah, he's actually doing really, really well.
Good for him.
He lives out of town. We still have a great relationship. I mean, he's my friend first.
Right.
He was in a relationship for 12, 13 years. So
Right.
definitely we still have good contact. We still have a
Mhm.
contact, and he signed off on the show for them to show his pictures and stuff.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, he's good.
Good for him.
He's a great person.
Good
I
for
love
him.
how she keeping it real generic.
She's trying to get that ring, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's real. It's
No,
real.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But-
We real cool.
Nah, but see, Shawana's keeping it real ladylike. That's what I'm really trying to say. You keeping it real ladylike. Because a lot of women, well, people in general, you could tell by their reactions. You can gauge where they're at in their life and in their relationships with how they convey messages.
Right.
I just
Right.
see you right up.
I also told my man who I'm with now, I'm like, listen, Dennis, he's my friend. Like, don't think there's nothing shady going on between him. Like, he's my friend
Mhm.
first. So he knows that they know each other. Like, everybody's good.
Mm. So Shawana, during the time,
Let's reel it back in. We went.
yeah, we went personal.
Yeah.
During the time that you're up top, are you making the most of your time? Is your mindset starting to change? Are you starting to understand, wow, I got to change my life. I got to go in a different direction because this shit ain't going to work forever. Like, what are you doing with your time when you're up top?
So they didn't really say in the show, but I've been to prison 3 times.
Okay.
So collectively I did 5 years. That's what they said. But for them to go and break down everything in an hour, it was just impossible.
Right.
So, to answer your question, the first time I went to prison, I was 18 years old. I did the 16 months. No, I did not. No, I was still thinking about how I'm going to do it smarter when I come home. And this is the honest truth.
Right.
I said, damn, I never actually got caught in a store. I got caught because this guy was getting hot in China. And if it wasn't for him, if I cut him out, then I should be good. At that age, I used to watch it all the time. Hustlers go to jail and they come back and they do things smarter. Sometimes they go right back to jail, but I wasn't thinking about that part.
Right. For sure.
So at the first time, no. The second time, it was just like I went to prison for a violation. It was nothing I did again.
Some silly shit.
It was something let me tell you something. I actually went to a birthday. This is why right now, like, I do what I do. Like, I go speak to the youth and I tell my story because you can really be guilty by just affiliation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I really just went to a restaurant to someone's birthday dinner and they used a fraudulent credit card. They called the police and the police officer that came knew who I was and automatically thought I was the one who used the card. I'm not a snitch, so I'm not gonna be like, yo, he used it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to. I got caught up with that. I didn't do no time because of that, but the feds violated me because I was around people who was doing stuff that I was once doing.
Mm-hmm. You can't
So
be
that was my
associated.
violation. Yeah, that's when I had to do the 2 years, and they made me finish out my probation with the 2 years. And at that very moment, while I did that, when I was doing that, my last bit, the 2 years, mentally, I was like, I can't do this no more. Like, I'm really going to have to figure out my life. I'm going to make this a new chapter. Like, basically, I killed the old Shawana and I rebirthed the new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wrote out everything it was that I wanted to do. So when I came home, I had a plan and I visualized it and I thought about it and I meditated on it and I bought everything that's happening right now. I brought it to myself because I used the law of attraction. I really sat there and really thought about my life, premeditated all of this, me being on TV, everything. You know, I didn't go looking for that opportunity. It came to me because I knew it was coming in my mind. I knew it was coming, and it came to me. It fell right in my lap. Me going to speak to young people and, telling them my story, that's something that I love doing it. I'm so passionate when I talk to them, when I go to the juvenile detention centers. I went to one in Brooklyn last week. And for me, it was all boys. And for me to go in there and see them, it was heartbreaking.
Right.
Some of these boys are in there for murder. It's just heartbreaking to me.
There's a saying, right? Speak of something you want to do and it's a fantasy or a dream, write it down and it's a goal. So that's what you did, right?
Yes.
I have a question. During this time or before or after, did you guys ever think of maybe we use someone of a lighter complexion or whatever? Like they would have got away with it. You know what I mean? Like
I knew this was coming.
No racial profiling.
Listen, let me tell you something, how I am. And it's crazy because I feel like when you do stuff, you do that shit by yourself. Like, I know if I had other people doing shit for me, I would have never did collectively 5 years. Probably been 15 years. Because it would have been so many people involved.
Conspiracy.
So initially when I started doing what I was doing, it was just me and Dennis. And that's how I wanted it to be, just us. But when things got crazy, I had to let our two closest friends do it with us, because I trusted them. But for me, I thought about that all the time. I'm gonna go get a white person. They ain't never gonna get caught in the store, But it's like as soon as they do get caught, they gonna tell.
They're telling
so I might
motherfuckers.
as well just put myself out there to begin with, because I'm gonna get in trouble anyway. You know what I mean? So I thought about it 100%.
And it's crazy that
I
she
can't
says
tell
that.
on me.
Yeah,
for
sure.
It's like,
yeah.
What do I always say, Mr. A, about the advice, right?
If on you're lonely.
Do your dirty by your lonely, baby.
Yeah, by your loan. Seriously.
And it's crazy because it's a Brooklyn mindset. She immediately just went to, she's like, I thought about it, but you know what? Nope. I do me by myself. Right. And not only that, but the cover story. Could you imagine if she had a front man who was Blanky and he would have got bagged? He would have been on the news, the press car, and they threatened my mother, and they would have buried her, son. She would have never seen the light of day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're very smart on your part. But it makes sense. But now let's shift gears now. Discovering that you were an author, for me, I dabble in writing. I've always dabbled in writing. Me and Sasson have been playing with this story for man. But finding that you're an author, how did that all culminate? Like, at what point, where were you in life that you were like, listen, I need to do this. I need to put this story together and put it out there.
So I was incarcerated.
Okay.
I was sitting there, and I had, when you're in prison, all you have is your mind,
All you have is time.
And time, yeah. So I started to write down things that happened, and I would tell my best friend Aisha Hall, I would tell her, y'all gotta get her up here too. Aisha Hall, I would tell her, my things that happened in my life. She's like, girl, this is a whole movie. It's a whole book. Like, you need to write a book. She wrote numerous books, and luckily I had her to help me. So all I did was, I gave her like 300 pages back and front. Like, I just sat there. It probably was no periods. It probably was misspelled, everything. But I sat there and I just
sounds like my work.
Everything that was in my head. Everything that was in my head, I just wrote it.
Writing.
Just
that's good.
Writing it. Whatever came in my head, just writing. So I gave that to her. We went over it, and she took everything and she just made it into a book, And I self-published my book.
Nice.
I didn't go with a publishing company. I wanted to do everything on my own.
Nice. Now, Shawana, the premise of the book, I understand, is your story from your come up to where you are, correct? Okay. And all those stories for everybody watching, those are
Well, I'm
all
sorry.
things that are,
I'm
huh?
sorry. It's from when I was young to about when I got released from prison the second time.
Okay. Okay.
So none of my life right now, or not
Okay.
even with him, with the guy
Okay.
that I'm with now. He's not. Yeah,
Who forever remain nameless. Um
Christian.
okay.
Christian
Salute. Hey, salute
at
to
Only
Christian.
Fly. At Only
My,
Fly.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
My man.
Please
Let's get with the program, kid. Let's go.
slide in his DM. Tell him time is clicking. Come
Oh,
on.
Got him.
we're gonna start the
TikTok,
campaign right
TikTok.
now. So, where we are now, we're in our life. You're achieving your goals. Everything is coming to fruition, right? So you go from leaving. You're doing the bid. You write down your self affirmations. You come out. You hit the ground running. Everything's starting to move and shake. You're talking to the youth that are incarcerated. You're writing this book. When do you start getting into the hair game? Because when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I gotta ask her. How does that come to you?
So when I first came home, that was the first thing I was doing, because
Okay.
while I was in prison, I was doing the girls' makeup and hair, before the visit. Just like I love to make someone feel, happy or at their best. So that's why even credit repair, me doing that is extremely I love doing it because I just love to make people feel happy or at their best. So when
Mhm.
I came home, I started the hair company, and I searched and searched and searched for different vendors for the best quality hair. It took me a while, like maybe 6 months, but I
Mhm.
finally found one, and it took off right away. I had a launch party for it. It was doing extremely well. I didn't even believe that it was gonna do that good, because it was so many hair companies out there. But
Mhm.
the beauty industry is like it's $1 billion industry. It's so much money. Even if I get a little piece. So the hair company did really, really well.
I think the
Shawana,
It's
question. When you were incarcerated, was there any like schooling as far as like helping you open a business or the financing part of it? Or
nothing.
and another thing is, did you put any money away when you were making this quick, fast money?
shh. Don't talk about that,
No,
yo.
the motherfucker took everything.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right.
right.
Let me tell you something. They took everything down to my Gucci panties, Gucci
Wow.
thongs. It had a tag
Mm.
on it. They took it.
They was like this.
Like
This
anything with
smell
a
like
tag.
money.
Right? Anything with a
Yo,
tag, they took it.
Surprise, motherfucker.
yo, hold on. I can't believe you just did that.
They did it, not me.
No, I appreciate Shawana remaining in her character. She held that one. I like that. They took everything
No,
down to
I
the
was
side,
so
right?
confused. I said they
No,
took my
no, the
damn pan.
feds. Yeah, the feds come and take
Yeah,
everything,
man.
everything off the wall. It don't matter. They coming for it all. The feds is the worst, right?
Crazy. They took TVs off the wall, laptops, everything.
Yeah, they taking everything. Anything
So
that
I
appears to.
really had to start all over from scratch.
Wow,
Mm.
that's heavy. That
So
is
what
heavy.
got you after the hair? Then you went into the credit repair. Is that what happened from that?
Yeah, so that's kind of what slowed down the hair company, because I could not do both. I'm one
Right,
person. I tried my best
right,
to do both, but it wasn't working. So that
right.
the credit repair company, it wasn't even supposed to be a company.
Okay.
Initially we started it because what happened was my best friend Aisha Hall, she was sending girls money in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So we were at my house one day, and she's just filling out these Western Union forms. It was like 6 of them. Mind you, she just came home too. I just came home. We barely got money. So she's sending $40 to 6 girls. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's
Right.
like, girl, I gotta send money to these girls. I've been promising. I'm like, Aisha, you've been home for like a month. You don't even have money to send to them.
Right.
She's like, I know, but they all about to come home soon, you know. So these are my girls. I'm like, damn, but we need to figure out a way to help them for when they come home because it's hard as fuck for us right now.
For sure.
Prison, you gonna figure it out. Like we know how to figure it out in prison. Shit, we
Mhm.
could sell cupcakes and you know we sell
Ramen
stuff.
noodles.
We know what to do in prison. But when
Cut
you
up
come
that soap.
home, that's when life really hits you.
For
You know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
So I said, you because she helped me fix my credit and she taught me how to do it. So I said, why don't we fix the girls' credit that's in prison because they about to come home? 6 of them about to come home. Let's just fix their credit. So when they come home, they have access to money. You know, so we fixed their credit and we they had their family check their score and they like, yo, my score is like 7 something. So now we fixed the boyfriend's credit and the mother credit. So now everybody calling us to fix their credit. We like, oh, we charge it now. This is
Yeah, for
way
sure.
before we put it on Instagram, way before we started the corporation. We was doing it and we like, we about to make this a full-fledged company. Why not? You know, so
Awesome.
we
Wait,
started
Shawana. Hold on. I'm sorry. What's your best friend's name?
Aisha Hall.
Salute to Aisha Hall.
Facts.
We definitely gonna have to chop it up with
Yep.
you because you
Yeah,
sound like
she did American Gangster Trap Queens on BT.
oh
We getting her. We
yeah.
getting that.
We need to speak to
Yeah.
Miss Hall, and
Sure.
I'm sure she got some stories for us.
Let me tell you her thing that I always tell her. She did 10 million. She made 10 million. They gave her 10 years, and she made that 10 million in 10 months.
What?
Yes. So her
She a
story is
dime.
crazy.
Yeah, she definitely a dime, right? She's selling stock
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oof. Wow. Salute to Miss
That's good.
Hall.
That's good.
We need to chop it up.
Yeah, definitely.
So now you start focusing on the credit repair company.
My phone is ringing left to right, ringing left to right. This is way before we put it on Instagram. So now we started doing credit repair. We started the company and it just took off as soon as I put it on Instagram. Like when I started my credit repair company, my life really started to start changing. You know, the transition started to come, you know. Now I'm able to buy certain things that I like and you know, and it all started just from a give back. It all started just from helping somebody. And now I'm making a lot of money. The company is doing extremely well, you know? And initially, it wasn't supposed to be a company. It was just to help the girls coming home from prison because my credit helped me. I fixed my credit and now I have access to money, you know? That's how I was able to start my hair company. I used one of my credit cards and purchased all of my inventory, you know? So now that's what we do now. We help people get access to money, you know, fix their credit, start their company by using other people's money, using their credit cards to start, because that's exactly how I did it, you know?
Nice.
And how did you figure this out, you and Aisha, of like you brought the idea of credit repair? Because we talk financial literacy all the time. We weren't raised on financial literacy.
Nope.
So how did that come to your mind? Is it just like I said before, like just moving and shaking, always on your feet? Just it happened,
Well,
or
she was actually doing credit repair prior to what she was doing, what got her incarcerated. I always
Gotcha.
tell her, like, if you stayed doing credit repair, your ass wouldn't have went to prison, you know? But so when she came home, you know, she taught me how to do it. So I went and fixed my own credit. I fixed my mom credit. I fixed and all my family credit, and then we fixed the girls' credit from prison. So I applied for credit cards, you know, got a bunch of credit cards, opened my company using one of the credit cards, got my inventory from using one of the credit cards. And
Gucci panties and socks on deck. Gucci panties and socks. You got the Gucci panties and socks back, like
got them back on deck. Got them back on deck. So when I seen that, you know, because I was never taught anything about credit. I didn't know anything about credit. I used to cash out on everything. I used to go into the dealership and just buy my car straight cash. So I never knew nothing about credit. You know, I was never taught anything about credit. So this generation and with Instagram and stuff, we have access to so much information.
Yes, you do.
You know what I mean? So much information now. That's why I love sharing what I know because I didn't know nothing before. You know, I'm still learning a lot. But with credit, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, so many different facets for you. Once you start learning the credit game, it opens up different doors. And I think that speaking to your story and what everybody should understand out in the street is that the most astute and wicked businessmen that could be, if they had some information, would be street people, because their hustle don't stop. So just imagine if you took all these boroughs and got the top hustlers that are in the street and taught them the ins and outs of credit and real estate and finance, you wouldn't see Harlem. Yeah, you wouldn't see Harlem looking the way it looks. You wouldn't see the South Bronx
And
looking.
we know what it was to not have.
They do not want us to learn anything like that.
Exactly.
That's how we got to teach. And people like you paying it forward is a big thing, Shawana. Definitely. So we thank you for that. And like I said,
that was the thing that I was going to tell you when you were speaking to how her credit business was born out of her just doing a favor. It speaks more to in the spirit of what they were doing, because her and Miss Hall were doing this out of the kindness of their heart. So it wasn't anything motivated by, oh, I'm gonna make money off of this.
Right.
And since she did that, they did it collectively. It was a blessing that came back. Like, oh, listen, we just doing this to help. And look, now we have a business.
From watching the episode, she said something about I always I didn't know, like now I'm helping other people, I believe you said. But you always had that mentality because you helped your family. Yeah. You helped your family a lot. And then, you helped your mom move out. Her mom was in a tough relationship and, she helped her move. So you always had that mentality, and then that just brought it to a broader spectrum of helping others.
I just always feel when you give, you receive larger.
Yeah, man.
Like every time I give and I extend my hand, I'm never looking for anything in return, but I know something is going to come back to me. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, 5 years, I'm going to get something back, just for extending my hand.
Listen, let me say this, because hearing what you just said rings true with me. My wife has been a selfless person since I've known her.
What's her sign?
She's a Gemini.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What's your sign?
Yeah.
Libra. I'm a Libra.
Woo. So Libra. She's been a selfless person since I met her, and I could never understand why. Right? And her biggest thing was, when you give of yourself without looking for anything, your blessings come back heavy. Right? And I've been a witness to that since we've been together all these years. And I used to get mad because, when you're doing something, you're like, why fuck you helping that person? Like, they don't deserve that shit. No. This is, I feel to do this, so I'm going to do it. And then later on, you see some shit come her way and you're like, yo, how the fuck that happened? Because she's giving of herself without looking for anything.
Right.
And I've seen that constantly. So it definitely speaks to your story, Shawana. But
sorry, I got the red cup. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Brooklyn style.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's actually water. It's water.
Allegedly.
I'm still recouping from the
after party yesterday.
Party. Oh my god.
The party we were never invited to yet. No,
no, you guys are always invited.
I was gonna hit you with this one real quick.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
So let me ask you, Shawana, how old is baby girl now?
She's 3.
She's 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay. She's fresh out the box.
3. So she was 2 when we actually recorded the show. Because I don't know if you heard me say she's 2.
Yeah, she's 2.
3. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So how is it being a mom?
It's let me tell you something. Honestly, she helped me.
She grounded you? Because
now I will never, ever put myself in a position to leave my baby. Now, let me tell you, temptation is a motherfucker.
When you know it.
You got the blueprint.
I had to
talk yourself down.
But I think back and I'm like, my baby is more important. I'd rather live in a shoebox with her
Mm.
I'd rather have no clothes on my back, but I'm with her, than to
Yes,
put
sir.
myself in a position to leave her. You know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
definitely.
And
You know, we all go through ups and downs, you know.
of
There's
course,
always gonna be ups and downs in life. But
that's
me,
life.
the type of person I am now, when I have like a down moment or a bad moment, I know that good is coming. I tell myself, damn, I'm going through this shit today. Oh, good is about to come. Or damn, business is going slow right now. Oh, business is about to boom. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so that's how I tell myself. It's all about balance. Life is about balance. It has
Yes,
to
sir.
rain, sunshine comes after that. You know what I mean? So hot, cold, it's all a balance. And that's how I
Staying
live my life now.
staying humble during those times to me is what matters most, because you're gonna have
Exactly.
the good
I'm very
times
humble.
and you're gonna cut bad times. That's just life. But stay humble and know that it's always gonna turn. Just be ready for what's coming.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking of remaining humble, salute to our guy in the room, Mr. Chef J. Martinez. The man struggled from where he was to where he is now, and just remaining a humble dude speaks volumes. And he's
Chef
on
at
the corner.
Reds. What's Reds, right? By the Navy
Rooftop
Yard.
Reds
Rooftop
in
Reds.
Brooklyn Navy Yards. Our
Of
guy right
course.
here, Mr. Chef J. Martinez.
You gotta
Good.
get Shawana a night over there,
Yeah, yo,
Jay.
listen, Shawana.
Yeah.
Rooftop Reds in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. It
Rooftop
is
Reds.
Rooftop Reds. Our guy, Chef J. Martinez. You see his comment right here up on the
Uh-huh.
screen. He's our guy. That's his spot. Yo, went up there for they had a New Orleans themed Cajun night.
Uh-huh.
They had a band. He was chefing it up. Some crazy
Oh,
gumbo. It
oh,
was
I would
bizarre.
love to. Listen, I love food. So
Oh yeah, there we
just let me
go.
know where I gotta go. I'm there.
Oh, we got you. We got you. So now let me speaking of the baby girl, how is fatherhood? How is the family unit for you?
Family
You
is
and
family is amazing, you know. So I have my daughter
Mhm.
and my soon to be fiance. He has a son.
Okay.
Um
Get the ring, Christian.
huh?
I
Get
said,
the
get the
ring.
ring. Get the ring.
I
Go
wish
to Jared.
she just walked in. I wish she would have heard that part. I wish he heard that part.
Yeah.
No, he have a son
Mhm.
his last relationship,
Mhm.
and we have a beautiful like family. You know,
Nice.
my daughter is actually over there right now with his son,
Okay.
the mother. You know, so
Okay.
our family is
Cool.
blended. You know, like
Co-parenting.
co-parenting. Yeah.
Nice.
We are on
Adults.
That's
that
one thing
grown
about him. He
shit.
don't play that. He
That's
do
it.
not
Yeah.
play that. And I feel like when this is only a messy situation when you know the two are still like messing around with each other. You know, that's when it
Mhm.
gets messy.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, but other than that, like you know, we're all family.
It's about the kids.
It's
And
about the
that's the only
kids.
one that get hurt. The kids, if people want to act crazy and fight and just hurting the kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know how to I don't even have the words. Did you people learn anything? Like co-parenting, business
Very
minded,
important.
motivated, and so well rounded. Like Miss King, your story is just, man, extraordinary, if you would.
Thank
But
you.
we want to know something even more so. What are we doing going forward? What is one of our goals that we got lined up that's coming up around the corner? Because it can't just be here. I know
No,
there's something
absolutely. I have
bigger.
another show that's actually gonna pop off soon.
Really?
No,
What's that about?
it's actually in the works.
Okay.
I can't really speak on it too much,
No
Of
but
doubt.
course. Of course.
it's sort of like what I did. It's
Hmm.
another network. It's another, you know, it's still a big network. It's another big platform. So, but I think this one is probably going to be more in depth. They're going to go more in detail, you know,
Mm.
more with my story. But I'm so excited about this one that's coming. We will start recording in October. So
Nice.
Nice.
that's definitely next.
So the TV or media is sort of the next endeavor for you.
Well, I mean, when it comes my way, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
I'll extend myself to do it, but I'm more so focused on my company, I'm
Okay.
focused on my credit repair company, and we also launched. We have a do-it-yourself. Where we teach people how to actually do what we're doing, and
Okay.
it costs $7.99.
Hmm.
So you can actually go on my website, therealcreditpro.com, and purchase it, and you'll get an email, and it'll tell you exactly how to fix someone's credit. What I
Wow.
mean. So that's really what I'm focusing on right now. Now, like if media or TV and stuff come my way, then
Hmm.
I'll definitely extend myself because it will help my platform. It
For
will
sure.
help my businesses, and
Sure.
yeah, that's basically. But I'm really focused on my business right now.
Where can the people pick up your book?
They can pick up my book on the website. It's theswipebook.com. And you can also go on Amazon. You can put in Shawana King, or you could put Swipe Book, and that's SWIPED. You can also put in the Swipe Book on Google. It's a bunch of different websites that sell the book. You can also click the link in my bio at Wanna Got Class on Instagram, and it'll take you right to purchase the book, or my hair company if you want to get some hair, or if you want to fix your credit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna go see Miss King because I'm losing a lot. I need some edges or something because it's
I
running
got
away
you.
from me.
Put a little front too.
Just
Yeah,
spray
yeah.
it.
Get the
It,
baby hairs all popping off.
it looks like my eyebrows are scaring away my hairline. It's just like running back there.
Nah, you good. You good. You good. I know y'all see the men. I know, who was it? Charlamagne or one of them who was
Uh-huh.
wearing the.
Yo, I can't go out like that. I
I
can't. I
can't.
can't.
Yeah, that was
That's
a
not.
Yeah,
different
no.
level.
I take it off.
Yeah, I'll take it off before I go that route. But
Yeah.
later for that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined the show, I'm sorry. You're going to have to go back and rewatch it on YouTube. All right? The set 6145. Man, Miss King, I can't put into words how much I appreciate your appearance, you
No
giving us your
problem.
time. I want you to know that you're a part of the family. Everybody that comes on the show becomes a part of the family. If
Oh, thank you.
anything in the future, you have a show, you have a party, you have anything going on that you need promotion or want us to promote, you know what to do. Just hit us up,
Oh, I
send us the
appreciate
information,
that.
and we'll do it
That's
for
dope.
you.
I appreciate it.
No, of course. We promote all of our past guest stuff, up and coming events, whatever it is. You just hit us in the DM, and we got you. All right.
Okay.
So we want to put you in the green room so we could close out the show, and then we could chat after.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Shawana.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate
Plug
it.
your IG and whatever you want to do before you get off.
Okay. My Instagram is at Wanna Got Class, or you can type in Shawana King and my page will pop up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brooklyn's own Miss Shawana King.
Thank you.
Hey, Christian, get that ring.
Yeah, son, you playing games.
Oh my God, please
don't move, Shawana. Just stay right there, okay?
Okay.
All right. Man, you know what?
Man. She's a real one. She's a real one for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, came on, just laid it all on the line. No hesitation.
Really, and she's young still, man. She's lived a lifetime. People need to understand that, life knocks you down and you just, on to the next, man. Just keep it grinding.
You see your boy Chef J Martinez and Rooftop Reds is always open to the Seth family, right?
Got you.
See that? But wait, there's another one. Where is it?
I saw it. He needs me there too.
Right here.
I know. I got you. I got told about it. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna DM you, Jay. I'm gonna DM
you. For real. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up, man. You got to give it up for Miss Shawana King, man. She just, I have a thing for our people. You know what I'm saying? Every time Brooklyn comes in the building, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
And she really did her thing. And son,
it's real people telling real stories, right? That's what we about. So
that's what we do.
Ain't nothing more realer than that.
And wait till you see what happens next week. But you got to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Sally, what's up? We out of here, man?
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. Same time, 7 o'clock. We out.